The last breath. My son asked me quite recently, "Dad, why are policemen bad?" I struggled with the question and all answers made me mad. He's seen some things on TV and the protests in Hong Kong, and though we try to shield him, he knows something is wrong. They're supposed to catch the bad guys, so shouldn't they be good? He's only 6, but already this much is understood. Just a kid, but super bright, and questions he has plenty. But it's one of those tough times where my answers feel quite empty. I'd start to say it's complicated, not just black and white. But I have never lied to him and I won't start tonight. The truth is that in the US, these deaths are about colour. Why must we spell out Black Lives Matter just like any other? Why are these bad cops largely white and victims mostly black? If they're public defenders, why do many cops attack? They're for our own safety, to serve and protect. But whose aims are they serving as they're kneeling on our necks? This kneeling on the necks of perps an absolute disgrace. I'm told it's quite illegal and yet strangely commonplace. Hong Kong police employed it too, and they seemed quite the fan. While kneeling thus on children, does it make them feel a man? And wasn't there more fuss made when Poetic took a knee? Not on a neck, but on the ground against inequality. It's strange how there's such fury seeing black folk looting Target, but nonchalance when police fire shots and black folk are the targets. Meanwhile, Trump blasts his governors saying they must dominate. This isn't The Apprentice, and such talk fuels the hate. It isn't weak to listen to the people's cries and pleas. Choose dialogue, not lip service to communities' real needs. If only those in uniform had listened to the cries of George Floyd saying "I can't breathe," then he needn't have died. I don't know Minneapolis, I know some say it's fine, but this could be most anywhere, a snapshot of our times. They've held anti-racist rallies and while that's all well and good, a lick of paint won't fix the problems deep under the hood. I lived through Toxteth riots, Manchester riots too, saw daily running battles with Thatcher's boys in blue. It's much the same old story, poor districts ghettoised, police disdain for residents they've already criminalised. It pains me to admit it, Tupac might have been right. It seems some things will never change. I pray though that they might. I hope Shakur was wrong though, and an answer can be found before too many more George Floyds lay lifeless on the ground. Of course some things are better now, but it's a crying shame, reminded all too frequently that much has stayed the same. The good cops know in hearts and minds that such battles are won, but one's heart has to be in it for justice to be done. So no, son, police aren't all bad, but I think that without question they need to be much better to improve public perception. And if it's just bad apples, is it time that we recruit good mangoes or papayas? Apples aren't the only fruit. Police aren't bad nor perfect, son. They're flawed like you and I. Maybe these cops weren't raised right. Perhaps that's the reason why. And not just cops, society too must take a look inside. Can they explain to everyone why these folk had to die? Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Stephon Clark, Terence Crutcher. Do your research, look them up, how these people all were butchered. Philando Castile, Breonna Taylor, Laquan McDonald, Alton Sterling. All are gone but not forgotten, and their loved ones are still hurting. Some of them were no more than kids. Tamir Rice, just a boy, his life taken in mere seconds while playing with a toy. More than 1,000 names each year, too many to name all, are killed by US police. They're stats that should appall. So keep your questions coming, son. Such things have to be discussed, and though not easily achieved, strive for change we must. We owe it to the fallen ones to question all these deaths and speak up on behalf of those who've taken their last breath.